Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor's situation seems to be getting worse by the week, and this summer could be his bleakest yet. As we know, after being forced out of Royal Lodge, Andrew is now living at Marsh Farm on the Sandringham Estate in Norfolk. Instead of attending royal events or carrying out public duties, he has been keeping almost entirely out of sight. In fact, he has only been seen in public a handful of times since moving.
One of those appearances came at the Sandringham horse driving trials, where witnesses claimed he seemed determined not to be noticed. According to reports, Andrew arrived quietly, watched from a secluded area while his sister-in-law Sophie competed, and left almost immediately afterwards. One spectator even claimed that he snuck in and snuck out, clearly trying to avoid attracting attention. Earlier this year, Prince Edward and Sophie reportedly became the first members of the royal family to visit Andrew after his move to Marsh Farm. The visit was described as nothing more than a brotherly welfare check. Since then, there have been few, if any, guests visiting his estate, highlighting just how isolated Andrew has become. His exclusion from this year's Order of the Garter ceremony was another painful reminder of how much has changed. And allegedly, he didn't take this well. For years, Andrew had taken part in one of the monarchy's oldest and most prestigious ceremonies. Even after stepping back from public duties, he was still quietly allowed to attend some of the private parts of the event. This year, however, he was excluded completely. It is another indication that there is very little room left for him within royal life. At the same time, Andrew reportedly believes he faces serious security risks. According to reports, he considers himself one of the most vulnerable members of the royal family because of the intense publicity surrounding him. Those concerns grew after a man received a stalking protection order following an alleged incident near Marsh Farm. Sources claim Andrew believes he should receive greater protection, arguing that although he is no longer a working royal, he remains the king's brother and the late Queen Elizabeth II's son. Whether those concerns lead to increased security remains to be seen. Meanwhile, another reminder of how dramatically his reputation has changed came at auction. A pair of Andrew's flying gloves from the Falklands War failed to sell. The signed gloves had been expected to fetch between £1,000 and £2,000, but not a single bid met the reserve price. The auctioneer pointed out that during the Falklands conflict, Andrew was viewed as a respected military figure and was extremely popular with the public. He suggested that without the scandals that have followed Andrew over the past several years, the gloves probably would have attracted significant interest. Instead, they became another symbol of how far his public image has fallen. Despite everything that has happened, reports suggest Andrew has not accepted his new reality at all. Several insiders claim he still believes he has been treated unfairly. He reportedly sees himself as a scapegoat and believes King Charles exceeded his authority by stripping him of his royal titles and roles. Reports claim he recently went on a rant to his staff about his royal blood, demanding they still use his royal titles. I have another video on this from earlier this week. Absolutely unbelievable, the reports coming out this week. His move from Royal Lodge to Marsh Farm has apparently been another source of frustration. According to reports, Andrew considered Marsh Farm far, quote, too small. Royal Lodge was a 30-room mansion where he had lived for decades. Marsh Farm, by comparison, has just 5 bedrooms. One source claimed Andrew had not lived anywhere that modest since leaving his apartment at Buckingham Palace many years ago. Even practical arrangements reportedly caused tension. When King Charles offered access to cleaners, cooks, and ground staff on an as-needed basis, reports claimed Andrew felt insulted by the arrangement. That reaction has only reinforced long-standing claims about his sense of entitlement. Former staff and royal insiders have made similar allegations for years. According to multiple reports, Andrew continued insisting that staff address him as Your Royal Highness, even after losing the right to use the title publicly. He allegedly expected employees to bow and maintained that royal rules no longer applied inside his own home. There have also been repeated claims over the years that Andrew bullied staff, shouted at employees, and made unusual demands that had to be followed exactly. Andrew has consistently denied wrongdoing in various allegations made against him over the years, but these reports continue to shape public perception. Then there is Sarah Ferguson. Their seemingly happy relationship seems to have changed. Reports claim the pair are still in contact, but they are speaking far less than they once did. Sarah herself has largely disappeared from public view. Friends reportedly describe her as living a constantly moving lifestyle, staying with trusted friends in different countries, including Ireland, Dubai, and the United States. Some reports have even claimed she is using multiple burner phones while keeping an extremely low profile, while others indicate she is looking to return to Britain, but relying on her daughter's financial support. Whether that is purely for privacy or for other reasons remains unclear. What is clear is that Andrew no longer appears to have the constant support system he once relied upon. Taken together, the picture is a difficult one. What is clear is that Andrew no longer appears to have the constant support system he once relied upon. Taken together, the picture is a difficult one. And even when he does venture out in public, witnesses say he tries not to be seen. For someone who once stood near the centre of royal life, it is an extraordinary fall. For now, Andrew's world seems to have shrunk to quiet walks with his dogs, occasional private family visits, and life inside Marsh Farm. Sources close to him say he is more isolated and paranoid than ever before. What happens in the months ahead remains uncertain, but based on everything we are seeing, this is shaping up to be one of the loneliest and most isolated periods of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor's life.